cleared AY for 9213, know that.
Clear, got it.
Summer is here, which means hotter days, but also longer days, perfect for catching trains in the evenings as the heat cools off as night approaches. As a rail fan, it's something I look forward to, and already in late May, we'd be using every bit of twilight we could. Hello again, rail fans. Welcome back to the Brooksville sub here in Lutz, Florida. It's May 21st, 2023, and we've positioned ourselves just north of the old Lutz Depot at a small church that, oddly enough, has some great trackside lighting. This Sunday night, we drive to the tracks for train L781, who had departed Tampa around 8 p.m. And so, with 3 cars for various industries, 781 would roll through Lutz just after 9 p.m. with quite the odd consist. With the solo CM44AC leading Longhood forward, the small train would switch Tibbetts Lumber and the Spring Hill Industrial Park on its way north tonight, ending up as a shorter night for the crew, which I bet is welcomed happily for them. Just 2 days later, I'd listen out again for the Tuesday L781 and would hear him switching Yeoman Yard much earlier than usual. With Amtrak 92 and Y295 already out of Tampa, 781 would have TN interlocking all to himself, departing Tampa at an uncommon 6:45 p.m. So off we'd go, straight into Lutz for the catch. I still don't know if the crew had an early call time or they didn't have much switching to do, but to see this train in any sort of daylight is rare, making it to Lutz in good light, 8:02 p.m. The train wouldn't be anything uncommon, with scrap for Pasco Iron Metal, PIM for short, in Land O'Lakes, a plastic pellet hopper for Spring Hill, and 20 hoppers for Cemex at the end of the line in Brooksville. From the EC1, the crew got permission from the dispatcher to use the switch at the SR825.1, which is labeled on my timetable as the scrap spur just 4 miles north from our current location. When 781 came into view with the scrap gondola up front, it guaranteed a switching job at PIM first, so we'd pack up and follow the train there. Driving north on US 41, the sporadic rain showers would become a light drizzle, soon completely stopping to my relief. If we wanted to catch this switching move at PIM with good footage, we'd need every bit of daylight we could get. By Land O'Lakes, we'd get ahead of the train, so we chewed him again. After our pull-off at Morgan Road, we'd only have another mile or so to drive before arriving at PIM, where our train was already there and stopped. The operation would be pretty straightforward, starting with letting the conductor off and pulling the entire consist past the switch. With the train now stopped and brakes applied, our conductor would throw the switch for the spur and then remove the EOT device from the last hopper, as the scrap cars we're about to pick up will be the last cars on the train.
68, 781, 23, switch SR825.1 reverse, 2020, conductor Anderson, over.
L781, switch at SR825.1, reverse 2020 Henderson. High clear, watching a point, derail down, back up 6, 7268.
Now with the EOT laying next to the train and spur track checked for any defects, the engineer throttles up his two big 6-axle GEs and couples onto the scrap guns.
15. I got this. 10. 5. Good. Give me a stretch. Clear.
The conductor then calls out for a stretch, which is just to make sure that the cars have successfully coupled together in preparation to pull the whole train out again.
That's good there with 3 step 68.
3 step 7268, watch that slack.
Finally, 4 loaded scrap gondolas are pulled from the spur and past the switch for the conductor to throw for the main, and brakes reapplied to safely reinstall the EOT.
Good there with 3 step 68.
Step on 7268.
PIM is switched about twice a week, usually on Sundays and Tuesdays, sending out about 5 loads a week that will be switched into nightly northbound freight train M442 out of Tampa for Waycross. But since the Sunday job didn't switch PIM this time, an uncommon 4 cars would be added to the train in return for dropping a single empty in the spur.
Last 20 from there, 68.
7268. 8 7268.
5.
5 7268.
3. 2. 1 more.
With the train now backed onto the switch, Lake Patience Road is finally cleared after about 15 minutes of blockage by L781.
Alright, drop 3, ground clear, get ahead over that switch.
And just as quickly as it was cleared, the road would once again be briefly blocked as the first car on the train has been uncoupled and ready to be spotted on the spur.
Okay, good. Zero still down, lined up, clear, up right. Come on back, give me 8 of them, 7268.
0 down, right in the point, back up 8 7268.
Now the conductor climbs onto the scrap car in an operation called protecting the bottom end. Since the engineer in the lead engine can't see what's behind him, the conductor becomes the eyes of the engineer, calling out car links over the radio, telling the engineer how much further to reverse.
No more. And good there with 3 steps, 7268.
3 step 7268.
That's under 4 when you can.
Under 4.
Down and clear, yeah. Good there.
Finally, after just about 30 minutes, the switch is thrown once again for the main line, and the 2 big CM44s back onto their train, ready to continue north.
On L781, switch at SR 825.1. Restored to normal 2037 Anderson.
3. 2.
8:45 p.m., and now with a light drizzle returning, L781 departs Lando Lakes for Spring Hill and ultimately Brooksville. With the EOT now flashing again on the end of the train, L781 would disappear into the darkness of the trees northbound, ending off an incredible sunset show. I've been waiting to see this train switch this customer for years now, but I've never gotten a good opportunity between lighting and weather. But I guess tonight was the night, and I'm glad that y'all tuned in to watch too. So along the Brooksville sub at SR 825.1. I'll see you again whenever we meet trackside, but for now, this is Christian from Multicolor Films. End of transmission.